2 years of Modi government. Let's go across now to Shereen Bhan, who has a very special guest with her, Ravi Shankar Prasad, the Union Minister for Telecommunications and Information Technology. Shereen, take it away.
Well, it is 2 years of the Modi government to the day today. Right through this month on CNBC-TV18, we've been assessing the performance of the various ministries and various ministers. Just yesterday, you saw the CNBC-TV18 CEO poll, one of the most exhaustive polls that's been done, which very clearly suggests that the Modi government has been able to significantly improve the ease of doing business and provide a conducive business environment. To take the conversation forward today, veteran leader of the Bharatiya Janata Party and also the Minister for IT and Communications, Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad. So appreciate you joining us here on CNBC-TV18.
Thank you.
Let me start by asking you, and I'm just going to articulate very few of the achievements that I've been noting down as far as your ministry is concerned. 1.1 lakh crore rupees by way of revenue from spectrum auctions, 672 crore rupees in terms of operating profit for BSNL. India Post has now got GPS-enabled trucks. In terms of the optic fiber network that you've laid out, from 350 kilometers, you've gone to about 1,16,000 kilometers. It's a long list that you've put together, sir. Let me ask you, what to your mind would you say has been the biggest achievement of your ministry so far?
Shereen, I'm talking to you in Sanchar Bhavan. Sanchar Bhavan was in the news for all the wrong reasons the last so many years. 2G shame happened here. I'm very happy to tell you, you just mentioned, I'm grateful, for the highest ever auction of 1,10,000 crores in the most transparent manner possible. No one raised one finger. I can honestly tell you, the entry of middlemen is banned in this building. Decisions are being taken on merit, expeditiously. And I can tell you here, if I gave 4G licenses, I saw to it that all the leading players get it within a space of a couple of months to ensure fair competition. Obviously, it has helped rise of telephony, of FDI 27,000 crores in the telecom sector, one of the highest ever. Mobile phone is rising, phone number is rising. I'm very happy. Looking for brighter days ahead. Looking for brighter days ahead. So let's talk about the road ahead then. The Prime Minister in his interview today to the Wall Street Journal has said that a lot has been achieved by the government in the past 2 years, but a lot more needs to be done. So let me ask you about the next steps as far as your agenda priority list is concerned. When can we expect the next round of auctions? You just gave us the figure of 1,10,000 crore rupees as the big achievement of your ministry over the past 2 years. There seems to one of the big achievements.
One of the big achievements. When can we now expect the NIA for the next round of spectrum auctions, sir?
Very shortly. The trial recommendations have come. The Telecom Commission has taken a call. Now the process is there. You know that it is, you have to choose an auctioneer, then you have to go to the cabinet on the pricing part of it. And all these things we are in the process. We do things properly, and remember, all the policy initiatives pending for the last 8 to 10 years, spectrum sharing, spectrum trading,
yes.
Harmonization,
yes.
Liberalization, virtual mobile network, sharing of infrastructure, active and passive, all have been cleared by me. Practically, there is no policy initiative pending.
You're right on that front, but can you give us a broad timeline, sir, by when we can expect the auctions to take off? I understand also that the NIA is perhaps pending on account of clarity required on the spectrum usage charge. The Attorney General's opinion was sought on that matter. Where do things stand? And give us a realistic time frame when we can expect the auction.
I say always 2 to 3 months. I'm being realistic.
Okay.
Why I'm saying so? With my own legal background and with my determination to do things in a fair manner. Obviously, if there is any legal flaw or legal ambiguity, that also needs to be clarified.
So what is the legal ambiguity that you're working with at this point in time?
I did not talk openly about that. Certain issues have cropped up on the issue of spectrum user charges. I have personally instructed, please have a proper legal clarity. That we will get very shortly. But what is important is when I said 2 to 3 months, I mean that.
So the NIA will be issued in 2 to 3 months, or you believe the auctions will be held in the next 2 to 3 months?
I say auction.
You mean the auction will be held in the next 2 to 3 months. You talked about how the SUC is one of the areas that require clarification, and that's perhaps what you're waiting for the AG's opinion to come in on. On the reserve price, sir, and we've had this conversation in the past as well, so I don't want to go down that road. But is there any possibility of a review,
of a
rethink?
My very gentle grievance against you is every interview with you becomes spectrum centric.
I'm not asking.
I have a lot to talk about to our viewers.
Last question on
Please
spectrum.
ask me those
Last
questions.
question on spectrum, sir.
Well, spectrum, there is a mechanism of pricing. TRI has twice reiterated the same thing. And as I always say, India is home to 1 billion plus mobile phones. Digital India is going to have an economy of $1 trillion in the coming 5 years, from electronic manufacturing to IT-enabled services to communication services. It is going to be a win-win for all. And whenever any auction is there are always murmurs of protest. But I think India is going to be a very big market.
Since you're talking about the India opportunity, sir, and you were talking specifically about the mobile phone and the handset market, Tim Cook was here in India. There seems to now be confusion over what the proposal or the plan is with regards to Apple, because I know that the interministerial committee of the DIPP had suggested that Apple be given a waiver from the local sourcing requirements under the single brand FDI policy. DATI, which is your department, had also supported the DIPP's view that that waiver should be given. Now we understand that the FIPB has said that yes, Apple can open stores, but there should be no waiver from the domestic sourcing requirements. Is this now then a setback for Apple? Is there a need for the government to review the overall policy as far as single brand retail is concerned?
Well, as far as I am concerned, my idea is to push electronic manufacturing in India. And I am doing so. When I became minister, there was only 11,000 crore investment. Now it is 1,21,000 crore. You know it very well. All the international brands, be it LG or Samsung or India brand, are doing well. Last year we sold about 100 crore smartphones in India. Today we have got 27 crore mobile phone smartphones in India. And as I foresee, Shereen, in the coming 4 to 5 years, we may be home to 500 million smartphones, 50 crores. Apple is most welcome. Why not? There's a big brand. I'm happy he came here. He wants to have attachment with India. But regarding the whole relaxation of the local outsourcing issue, this is a sensitive issue. FIB has taken a call. Let a final decision, government decision be there. That will be appropriate for me to make a comment, instead of saying something publicly.
Okay.
Because we have to balance both. Namely, we want India's vendor also to rise. India's supply capacity also to rise. And right from automobiles, you may have seen that India's ancillary industry has done so well.
Yes.
In the case of auto sector, motorcycle sector, therefore let's await when India is becoming a center of global center of mobile phone manufacturing. We'll have to take also a political call.
A political call will have to be taken on whether the waiver should be given to Apple or not.
That is governmental call.
Government call. So which means, like, for instance, would a cabinet decision have to be taken on
I need not go into it. FIBB today has given clearance for that. Naturally, there is a process of government decision making. I would request you to await that.
Okay.
But having said that, let me reiterate. Apple is most welcome, and naturally it will be a win-win for Apple also, because of profound human resource and talent of India's people.
Fair enough, sir, and I don't want to talk about this specific instance, but let me ask you, as you sit here today, do you believe that, especially since you're talking about trying to invite foreign investors into the country, do you believe that there is perhaps a need to review the single brand policy in whole, so that it doesn't create any kind of discretion? The reason I ask you this is also because a call has been taken when it comes to FDI and food marketing to do away with the local sourcing requirements, because the view of the government is that it's not practical. So is there perhaps a need then to review the sourcing requirements under the single brand policy?
I can tell you these kinds of requests keep on coming, and the government takes a call depending upon the situation, and also encouraging local industry to do well. Okay. As I said, India is becoming a big center of electronic manufacturing. I'm very happy. I went to Korea, I went to Germany, and I'm very happy today. All the brands are in India. Apple is also coming to India, most welcome. But we have also to encourage local sourcing as well. Therefore, again, I said this again relates to my first answer. A proper call will have to be taken depending upon issue to issue. I cannot make any specific comment because lot of misgivings are there also as far as India's own enterprise is concerned. So we have to have a blend of the interest of both.
Okay, fair enough, sir. So let me move on and talk to you about some of the other pillars as part of the Digital India campaign, which is one of the big campaigns of this government and one of the key achievements over the past 2 years. You've got 9 pillars under the Digital India campaign, sir. From the broadband infrastructure to public services to the internet and so on and so forth. Where would you say that things currently stand as far as your targets for each of those 9 pillars are concerned, and what more would you now need to focus on as you start year 3?
First of all, optical fiber network. When our government came, just 358 kilometers of optical fiber and 2,000 kilometers of optical pipe. Now we have 1,40,000 kilometers of optical pipe and 1,16,000 kilometers of optical fiber. That's the speed we are going. Infrastructure doing well. You talk of digital delivery of services. Last year it was hardly about say 30-35 crores. Now it is 58 crores. That is there. Digital services are rising very from e-scholarship portal to hospitals are being linked to Jivan Pramanam to MyGov, people involvement. All those things are doing quite well. Three other infrastructure which I am doing in a big way is common service centers who are giving digital delivery of services in the hinterland. Their number from about 80,000, now it has reached to 1,99,000. I want to scale it up further. BPO call center in the small coastal towns of India. That will create, it is already
2 lakh jobs is what you're hoping.
The process is going on and I'm telling you the result is very, very exciting. I want the viewers of your great channel to know that we went for an expression of interest, Shereen, against 48,000 seats. 78 companies showed interest for 1,25,000 seats at 190 locations of India, like Gorakhpur, Bhagalpur, Devariya, Jaisalmer, Jabalpur, so all the hinterland of India. So that process is on till the 30th of June. Now that is doing quite well. Postal part I must talk. I would like you to give me an opportunity to talk separately on the postal part, which we have done. The virtual mobile network, a great policy initiative pending for the last many years. And what is that? You don't need to own a spectrum or infrastructure. You can become the outsourcing and supply part of it. And lastly, which is again very, very important, that active and passive sharing of infrastructure by all the mobile operators and others. Therefore, all these infrastructure issues would lead to a cascading effect today from your transportation services to driving license to income tax return to land record. Most are being digitized.
Right.
And I'm encouraging that in further accelerated way.
Which you're broadly calling e-Kranti as part of what your ministry is trying to do. But let me ask you a broader question, sir.
I'd like to interrupt you here. How India is changing where you are also involved as CNBC. Digital Desh, which you are encouraging.
Yes.
It is a classic example of the changing profile of India to the mobile phone and reinforces what my Prime Minister always says. I want governance to be available in the mobile phone of India.
You're absolutely right.
Shereen, digital India is more for the poor, underprivileged. A mason, an electrician, a pancharwala, those who are doing manual job must have greater opportunity with the help of their smartphones. And Digital Desh, I wish to congratulate you, which you have promoted, showcases how people in the hinterland are empowering their life through smartphones.
Well, thank you, sir, on behalf of everyone at CNBC-TV18 for that pat on our back, but we appreciate it and we will continue to do that. But let me ask you, sir, about what you see as far as the landscape for the telecom industry is concerned. You know, over the years there's been a lot of talk of consolidation and finally we moved towards that, largely on account of the fact that you've cleared the spectrum sharing and the spectrum trading policy. When we talk to industry, they talk about how India has way too many telecom companies and they believe that the right number would perhaps be 3 or 4. In your assessment, as things stand today, especially with the advent of 4G, how do you see the complexion of this industry going forward?
I see my job, Shereen, is to create the enabling atmosphere in terms of policy, in terms of infrastructure. Let the consumer and the dynamics of the market drive it out. Those who will be giving the best service naturally will get the best consumers clientele. Therefore, I cannot be judgmental on the consolidation part. I leave
but do you see that there is likely to be more consolidation? I mean, Telenor has openly said that they will either be a part of the consolidation or they will be forced to exit India, especially if the reserve prices remain where they are as per the recommendations of the TRAI.
I have to only do in a fair, transparent manner. And I wish to make it clear, if someone wants to have administrative allocated spectrum, sorry, that is not possible.
That is not possible. But how do you see the game changing, sir, especially now that, you know, you've already got a couple of players in the 4G market. You will see competition heating up perhaps towards the end of the year or closer to the end of the year. How do you see that really change the dynamics of this business?
I don't think, as a Telecom Minister of India, I need to be judgmental there. Let the market forces take a call on that. But yes, I can only say I have done my part. And mobile operators have done a great job in the country by bringing mobile to the nook and corners of the country. What is more important is that let the consumers be happy with the services. Let there be a fair competition. That's how I wish to do.
Since you're talking about services and you're talking about the consumers, so let me ask you about the issue as far as call drops are concerned. The TRAI chairman in his interview to us a couple of days ago has said that if necessary, the TRAI will look at the possibility of another consultation paper on how to address this issue in the context of the Supreme Court's observations. As DOT, sir, and I know that this is the remit of the TRAI, but as DOT, is there a need at this point in time for the government to perhaps consider amending the TRAI Act at all so that what the Supreme Court has said can perhaps then be executed in reality from a consumer's point of view?
Let me again repeat. I have been saying from day one, I'm the Minister for Telecom Growth. I'm also the Minister for Consumer Interest of India. I have done my part all on the policy front. As you rightly said, it's the remit of TRAI. But a good service, a satisfactory service is also in the interest of the operators.
Yes.
And the people want good service. And Shereen, of the JAM Trinity, Jandhan, Aadhaar,
Mobile.
The last is M, mobile.
Yes.
And mobile is going to become an important component of digital India success, from commerce to other things. And this journey from desktop to laptop to smartphone. So I think all the operators need to understand. I understand that they have installed about 95,000 plus sites in the country, about 5,000 in Delhi. They need to work more. And as a minister, this department will continue to persuade and also monitor this aspect as to what is their obligation towards the customer.
Absolutely. And those
the larger quality part, standard part is there for the TRAI to decide.
Okay, it's for the TRAI to decide, and of course you will continue to monitor the process. But sir, let me ask you, some telecom companies have now decided to go the self-regulation route, and they've said that we will try and do better than the TRAI benchmark of quality standards, and if not, there's a certain percentage. It's been capped at 100 crore rupees for a particular company, but that will go towards funding education for the underprivileged. Other companies may follow suit as well, I'm assuming, but what do you make of this?
You see, my take is very simple. Self-regulation is entirely their own architecture. I need not comment. But for me, the biggest standard is consumer satisfaction. Distinct improvement. Again, I say some improvement has taken place. They need to do more.
They need to do more.
Let us not make it a call drop, a specific interview. But what is important is a good service is also in the interest of the operators. And let me repeat, they have the ability, they have the potential to do it. Identify the gap, reinforce the gap, and where you need investment in infrastructure, do it. If they can install 90,000 plus sites in the last 7 to 9 months, they need to do more. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, let me talk to you about India Post, sir, because I know that you feel very passionately about that. And at the outset, I spoke about some of the things that you've been able to do, for instance, GPS-enabled trucks, etc., as part of India Post. On the banking aspirations, you've of course got the license for India Post. When do we actually see that take off?
Well, since you talked of India Post, this has always been a little indifferent body. Kindly see, ATM were 4 when I came to power. Yes. Now they are 913. Core banking is 230. Now it is 21,006. Now it is 22,000.
And that was Ravi Shankar Prasad explaining the rationale behind India Post and his plans going forward.